So I want to talk about Carry On, the Netflix film that was recently released. And for today's video, I want to discuss with you all, if y'all want to jump in the comment section and go back and forth, what do you think was the best thing about the movie? Because for me, it has to be the performances. Theo Rossi, he's a guy who always delivers when it comes to performances. So he's not one that I'm talking about here as a standout. Taron Egerton is actually the standout in my opinion. He really played differently from everything that I believe that I've seen him in up until this point. When you see people who take on roles, they tend to be similar things over time. And Taron has been a leading man who has done a lot of spy work and a lot of things that show him as like a blossoming action star. But in this, he really played a person that seemingly had a few mental issues when it came to the psychological part of his character and the failure to launch into his career and the psychological stuff with his dad and his girlfriend and all those things. And to me, his performance was great, but I also feel like the direction of the director helped pull that out of him, and it was really, really good. And it was notable, in my opinion. The other standout performance comes from Jason Bateman. And the thing, again, is direction along with a good performance. Because with Jason Bateman, this is the first time I believe he's ever played a villain. And that is very, very important. Anytime you step out of a role that is the traditional norm for you want it to be something that people can believe. And he was very believable as the bad guy here. It came across very much like his comedic performances come across incredibly nonchalant, also incredibly straight. Like Jason Bateman is not the one who's doing the wacky stuff. He tends to be the straight man in delivering some cold, calculated lines. Well, here he's delivering cold, calculated lines, except it's not intended to be funny. It's intended to be intimidating. And it was for most of the time. I like that in this movie that they did take a little bit of a risk and try to do some things visually. I think specifically to a one take car crash scene that was clearly CGI'd, and the CGI was not the best in that scene, but it was a visual risk and it was impressively executed. Is something that I never would have thought to do. But going back to Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman, the only part of the film that I didn't like was the fact that Egerton is the younger, slightly more athletic guy in this instance, and he just did not want to take the physical interactions to Jason Bateman's character, because Jason Bateman has never been the physical intimidating presence. He kind of was here, but I was really hoping that they would have Taron's character fight Jason Bateman's character a little bit more successfully, because even though Jason Bateman's character was so capable and he was so connected and had all this influence over Edgerton, I just felt like physically you would see the younger man win out in a fight between these two. A guy in his 30s versus a guy in his late 40s, 50s. I think that younger guy would have the advantage. And I was looking forward to seeing it, but they didn't do it. And that's the only letdown with the movie. Of course, everything wasn't flawless, but it was good. It was a really good time. And I think it was a really good time due to those two standout performances, along with the rest of the cast, but those two specifically. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. And that's all we got for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.